Okay, welcome back everybody. This is going to be week 1 of building Dantooine. That's right, I'm going to be doing a building series. It's not going to be weekly segments. When I thought about it more, since as you can see there's a ton of progress and I want to split that up more and not do weekly segments, or else there would be like pretty much it for the intro. So let's get into the plans for the mock. Okay, what you see in front of me here is the plans for the mock, and something you may have noticed from the intro there is that the plans are actually bigger than the mock. And that's because it's going to obviously be bigger, except I don't have the table space for it. I do have the base plates, so I'm gonna like move off one section and then start the other one once I finish that section. So here you can see the plans. It is going to be on Dantooine, like I said, you kind of see there, but it's going to not be based off any specific thing from a Star Wars movie or TV show, simply because you never really see Dantooine like as besides like outside the planet, except you can actually see it in video games and some comic books, but it's not based on any of that. It's kind of just made up. It's just supposed to look like the planet, if that made sense. But here what I want to have is two very big mountains, a kind of patch, a pretty large patch you could say, of grass and forest here, and then a couple little spots with water and a few smaller mountains. But you can see there is one big mountain over there with a bunker inside of it, like at an angle, so that will look cool. Then there's another one over here. It doesn't look as good since it's on this side, but whatever. You can see throughout the base plates here, and that big line is the like 2 sections. So this is section 1, that's section 2. But you can see some smaller mountains, not going to be very tall at all. And something you may have noticed, I'm going to be building a custom, semi-custom, I might just modify the set or something. But then I'll build a custom A-Wing and TIE interceptor that will fly over the mock. But this is going to be an Imperial complex sort of thing. It's just pretty much an Imperial base, but there's multiple bunkers. It's kind of like Solist, how there's a ton of different bunkers everywhere inside of the mountains, so that's pretty much what it's gonna be, and that's the bunkers. But on the back here, some more plans. You can see another thing of one of the mountains. I don't know why I won't zoom in, but whatever. But you can see some pretty bad drawings, and here is some rough estimates of cost for section 1. This is actually pretty surprising to me. It's going to cost to finish $200 to $250. That's way less than I thought, so that's pretty exciting. Except the thing is, I want to kind of make it cost, not really cost more, but I want to buy more pieces since I want this to last a really long time. But of course that is only section 1, and then I'll have to buy more for section 2. But here is some math for the mountain. I kind of got a pretty good estimate as to how many slopes I need for that, but you can see there, but I'll talk about that later. And you can see the inside of the first mountain there. On the top I want to have an armory, and then on the bottom kind of just an open hangar storage area sort of thing. Not really a hangar, but there's going to be lights in both of these, and I will draw better drawings over time of the inside. Like, this is not great. But anyways, let's get into actual Lego things. Okay, moving into the actual mock progress, you can see there is a load for episode 1. There obviously won't be this much per episode, but as you can see, there is a ton. I did record some small time lapses, and it's not actual that stuff, sadly, but it is me putting down all that red, all that green, and all that tan filler brick. And if you're wondering why the filler is kind of like lines, you can see there, it's because I am completely out of brown plates. That's not that big of an issue. I mean, it is, except I can get them on Pick-a-Brick for super cheap. But the reason why it's lines is that I'm just going to get 2x6 brown plates, and they fit across like that, and they're super sturdy. So that is why it's kind of lines there. But before I show you that actual progress over there, like actual stuff built besides the filler brick, I will go ahead play a few time lapses of me putting down the filler brick. Okay, hope you enjoyed that time lapse of me laying down all of that filler brick. That actually didn't take that long. Like, the tan probably took like 15 minutes. It wasn't that long. But you can see over here actual progress, and as you can see, there is a ton, and I really like the look of it so far. You can see the forest area that I was talking about. It's like that weird shape. And this wasn't in the time lapse, but I put down some green plates, and that's as big as the little patch of forest is going to be for the entire mock, and that's going to be all the grass in the mock. But you can see that brown with the nice texturing that I like, and actually destroyed something. If I move it here, I added like a patch of mushrooms and a patch of rocks there, and that is just to kind of break up the brown, since I don't want it to be like solid brown. I will also get some dark brown 1x2s to break it up, since that looks really nice and it blends super well. You can see the water. I have the pieces to do all of the water for the mock, except I'm not going to do it this episode because I want stuff for episode 2, which will probably be tomorrow. And if you're wondering if there's going to be episodes every day, no, there's probably going to be like 1, maybe 2 a week. It's just because it's the start of the mock. I have a lot of pieces as of right now, so that's why there's going to be like a ton of progress at the beginning. But I want to spread it out so that way there's not just like half the mock done episode I place like 2 plates. But you get the idea. That looks pretty nice. You can tell me what you think of that. You can see the forest area. I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm not covering in any foliage really at all because I don't want to. I think it will look bad. And those pine trees, I'll make like 1 more, and then I'll make some regular trees, except have them with red leaves, which I think should go well with the color scheme. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But that is pretty legitimate progress, and something you probably noticed is the black rim sort of thing. I'm gonna have that. If you don't know, it's where you kind of get black bricks and then put it all around the mock and then put tiles on top of it, so it looks really nice and finished. I won't finish that until I'm done with the actual mock, since that's probably the least important part of the mock. But yeah, I have a couple minifigs on there, and sorry if there was some weird pause because 10% battery. I'll have to charge my phone before the next little segment of me talking. But you can see it's going to be Stormtroopers versus Rebels. The Rebels will be invading, And this is probably not going to stay. Who knows, maybe it will. I was just bored, so I set up some minifigs. You can see it, the stormtroopers that I have for the mock right now. I'm going to have to get more. I'm deciding on whether or not to use Death Troopers. I don't think I will, because I just don't want to for some reason. But I can also cover that in sand green and all that nice stuff, except I'm going to do that next episode, so I actually have something for next episode. But that's pretty much it for this progress, so I'm just going to show you one more thing before the end of the video, and then I'll close it off after that. Okay, there's just a bit more progress before I end off the video here, and this is actually something pretty important. This is where the mountain's going to be. You can see some outlines, like that white plate kind of outline is where it's going to be, and it's going to be roughly that tall, so pretty tall. And I did some math kinda. I just stacked up bricks and then saw how tall it was, and I went around and then I divided it by 3 because that's how tall the slopes are, to see how many of those slopes I need. And I need not that many now that I think of it. I thought I would need 1,000 for that. I thought I would need 1,600, 1,000 regular and 1,600 inverted, but I was way off, and I'm glad about that. I only need like 200, 60, 150, something like that. So that's pretty good, and that's actually not that expensive. So I thought the mountain would take a long time, so that will actually come pretty fast, except the interior. Talk about that next episode. That will take a while. Okay, well, enough about the mountain here. Just going to talk about the bunker before I end off the video. You can see the bunker. I have already built it. It's pretty much the same design as the one from my Endor mock, and I got a lot of inspiration from Izavaguba. I didn't like one-for-one copy it, but I got the shaping and size from him. But then I added a couple extra details, like there's like a notch under the top part there. You can't really see it, and then the sides are different, but that's pretty much it. And I have practiced trying to blend it with the rock work. That looks okay right now, but I'll do better with that once I get more pieces. And then I added this kind of snot area just to pretty sharp angle. It's kind of sideways, and that was actually not that hard to do. Bricks and tiles. So I put it on the swivel plate and then put tiles so that way it can rest on it. And then I put the landing pad at its side. Well, it's not a landing pad, just a snot area in front of it. And then I put that there, and I think it looks really nice. But if I take you around over here, I did practice kind of connecting it, and I found out how to connect it so that it's like completely at the exact same spot if it weren't at an angle, even though it is. And that goes in nicely, and then over here will be the base. But I'm gonna go ahead and end off the video, so yeah. Okay, ending off the video here. What you just saw was episode 1 of building Dantooine, like I just said. The next episode will probably be tomorrow, just because I'll have a lot of progress. And something I didn't mention is that I'm on winter break, so I can work a ton and stuff. But you can see tons of progress. I will time-lapse me doing the rest of the water over here. I might even go ahead and make the other bunker, even though I don't need it, since that's for section 2, which won't come for a while. Go ahead and just make the other bunker, since I have pretty much all the pieces to do it. It's pretty simple, and I might even do a tutorial on it. But that's pretty much it for this episode of building Dantooine. Thank you all for watching, and remember, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.